Have you ever imagined yourself in a place where the past and present walk side by side, where the streets seem to breathe history, yet life pulses with modern energy? Have you ever thought about visiting a country so small it can be crossed by train in just a few hours, yet home to more castles than any other place in Europe? And what if I told you that here, around every corner, there's an untold story, a new flavour, and a landscape that seems to change its personality with the weather? Belgium is all that, and so much more. A country that brings together 3 official languages, yet speaks one common language when it comes to art, culture, and well-being. Here, French, Dutch, and German flow together in the same rhythm, revealing a rare harmony between peoples and traditions. Perhaps that's why this small patch of the European continent has become one of the most charming and surprising places in the world. But what truly makes Belgium special? It might be the medieval architecture that has stood the test of time, the peaceful canals of Bruges, or the grandeur of the Grand Place in Brussels, where the golden facades transform under the light of the setting sun. It could be the sound of engines echoing through the hills of the Ardennes at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit, one of the most iconic tracks in the world of motor racing. It is the longest on the current calendar, stretching just over 7 kilometres, and known for its challenging bends, nestled in the lush, damp landscape of the region. Did you know the saxophone was born here, invented by Adolphus Sax, a Belgian from Dinan? Or that the atomium, built for the Universal Exposition of 1958, represents an iron crystal magnified 165 billion times. And that it was right here in Belgium, in the small town of Spa, that the concept of the spa was born. Thermal baths and wellness therapies now recognised and replicated across the globe. There's also something curious about the country's size. No matter where you are, the sea, the forest, or a historic city is always less than 200 kilometres away. It's as if each journey is a quick passage between centuries and different ways of life. So if you're passionate about destinations full of personality, authentic stories, and curious facts that reveal the unexpected, get ready. Because at the end of this video, you'll discover a secret place high above, where nature, history, and the sky meet in a spectacle few tourists know about. But before that, imagine a city crossed by more than 80 bridges, where each stone arch reflects centuries of history over waters that seem to hold memories. The very name Bruges comes from the Norse word brygge, meaning bridge. And that's exactly what it is, a living bridge between the past and the present. At the heart of this romantic maze, Minnewater Park cradles the famous Lake of Love. Legend has it that couples who cross its bridge together are destined to share an eternal love. The reflection of the trees in the water and the gentle touch of the wind create a setting that seems suspended in time. For those who travel through taste, Bruges is the chocolate capital of the world. Along its cobbled streets, a sweet aroma lingers in the air, inviting you into irresistible experiences. At the Chocolate Museum, the Frit Museum, and in waffle and chocolate workshops, you can taste tradition in every bite. But what's most striking is the silence, broken only by the chimes of the belfry, which have echoed for over 700 years, a sound that reminds us time passes, but beauty remains. That's Bruges, where love and silence touch the heart at the same time. And since we're talking about names and meanings, here's a question. How do you write the name of the capital of East Flanders? Ghent, Gent, or Gand? The answer is more curious than it seems. Each version reveals a language, a culture, and a history. Ghent is used in English, Gand in French, and Ghent is the Dutch version, spoken by the majority of the city's residents, and that's how we'll refer to it. Ghent, a simple name for a place that carries centuries of complexity. Ghent has over 1,000 years of history, and yet it is one of the youngest cities in Belgium. Its symbol is the trio of medieval towers that stand aligned like guardians of time: St. Nicholas's Church, St. Bavo's Cathedral, and the Belfry. The latter, the tallest in Belgium, rises to 91 meters and is crowned by a golden dragon that, according to legend, has protected the city for centuries. Among the must-see attractions are the Castle of the Counts, with its view over the rooftops, and St. Bavo's Cathedral, which houses the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, a masterpiece of Flemish art. When night falls, Ghent transforms. The light plan illuminates facades and bridges, reflecting on the waters of the River Lys. On the banks of Graslay and Korenlay, cafes and restaurants come alive. Ghent is the birthplace of vegetarian gastronomy in Europe, but also a haven for local flavours, craft beers, and desserts that warm the heart. And following this glow, we continue our journey. After all, Brussels is not only the heart of Belgium, it is also home to one of the most beautiful squares in the world, the Grand Place. Surrounded by golden buildings and the imposing town hall, this square is the perfect starting point to explore the city. By day, it is vibrant and full of life. By night, it becomes a spectacle of lights that makes every visitor feel like a part of history. From there, the view changes completely upon reaching the Atomium, Brussels' modern icon. Built for the Universal Exposition of 1958, it represents an iron crystal magnified billions of times. Entering its spheres feels like stepping into the future. There are panoramic restaurants, interactive exhibitions, and windows that reveal the entire city like a living mosaic. Between past and present stands the Royal Palace, the official residence of the King of Belgium. Its halls, open to the public during the summer, impress with their grandeur and wealth of detail. Nearby, the small mannequin piece, the little peeing boy, continues to draw smiles and symbolises the irreverent humour of the people of Brussels. Brussels is also the birthplace of Tintin, the intrepid reporter created by Hergé, and the capital of the European Union, where countless cultures intersect. In winter, its Christmas markets light up the streets with music, aromas, and magic. And it's in this enchanted atmosphere that we head to our next destination, Spa, where rest, water, and history come together in perfect harmony. Among forest-covered hills lies a town that seems to have discovered the secret to well-being long before the rest of the world. Famous for its mineral waters, which flow pure from the rocks of the Ardennes, it has attracted travellers since Roman times. Its springs, rich in iron and natural gas, are known for their healing properties and gave rise to a tradition that has lasted for centuries. This place was once called the Café of Europe, a meeting point for nobility and high society in search of rest, elegance, and vitality. It was from here that the term now used around the world was born. Spa, a synonym for renewal and balance. High above the town, Les Thermes keeps that heritage alive. The thermal complex blends serenity and luxury, with heated pools and views stretching across the valley. A cable car leads the way up, while forest trails welcome those who prefer to arrive on foot. In the town centre, the Puant-Pierre-le-Grand holds the most famous spring, where it is still possible to taste the very water that made the destination legendary. At night, the historic casino, opened in the 18th century, comes to life with its concert hall and elegant restaurant. And just a few kilometres away, the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, shatters the quiet of the hills with the roar of engines that have made motorsport history. But before we move on, tell me something. If you were here, would you choose to relax in the warm waters of Spa or feel the thrill of the legendary tracks at Spa-Francorchamps? Let us know in the comments which experience suits you best. And if this journey has already got you dreaming about the next stop, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because the next destination will shine like no other. From a haven of water and tranquility, we move on to a city powered by rhythm and brilliance. Antwerp awaits, with one of the oldest and most important ports in Europe, where art, luxury and hard work meet beneath the same horizon. Known as the diamond capital of the world, Antwerp is a place where the sparkle lies not only in the shop windows, but also in the soul of those who built it. In the diamond district, craftsmen have been cutting precious stones for centuries, turning them into jewels that travel the world. Every street seems to shimmer with stories of trade, tradition, and precision, as if the entire city breathed luxury and skill. Nearby, the port of Antwerp continues to pulse as the economic heart of Belgium. One of the largest in Europe, it connects cultures, goods, and dreams from every continent. Its modern building, the Havenhuis, designed by Zaha Hadid, reflects the meeting point between the city's industrial past and technological future. Those arriving by train quickly understand Antwerp's grand spirit. The central station, with its domes and monumental arches, has been voted several times as one of the most beautiful in the world, a true palace of movement. But the city's sparkle doesn't come only from gemstones or steel. Antwerp is also a trendsetter. The fashion museum, MoMu, is an international reference point for lovers of design and culture. The city hosts one of the most influential fashion scenes in Europe, thanks to a group known as the Antwerp Six, designers who redefined style in the 1980s. From a city that shines between art and commerce, we move on to another where history watches the world from above. Namur awaits, built at the confluence of the rivers Sambre and Meuse. Atop the hill, the citadel of Namur dominates the landscape with its ancient and imposing walls. It's one of the best preserved fortresses in Europe, called the Ant and the Lion by Napoleon due to the quiet strength with which it protects the city. From the viewpoint, you can see the meeting of the two rivers, one of Belgium's most photographed landscapes. Namur is the capital of Wallonia, the French-speaking region of the country. Its streets blend history, elegance, and a serene rhythm that invites visitors to slow down. Around every corner, squares, cafes, and markets reveal the easygoing daily life of a city that lives between past and present. Just a few kilometers from the center are the Annevoie Gardens. Created in the 18th century, they combine French, English, and Italian styles with fountains, sculptures, and pathways, forming a simply enchanting setting. Walking through these gardens feels like stepping into another era where art and nature intertwine. Namur also wins you over through its flavors. Its gastronomy highlights game dishes, local cheeses, and sweets made with seasonal fruits, a true celebration of Walloon cuisine. And since we're talking about flavors, we continue on to Dinant, where tradition and sweetness meet in the Koek de Dinant, edible sculptures that reveal the sweet heart of Belgium. Made only with honey and flour, these biscuits are as hard as the cliffs that surround the town. Each one is shaped by hand, forming detailed designs that look like works of art. But Dinant isn't all about sweetness. High above, the citadel of Dinant rises proudly over the River Meuse, holding centuries of history and battles. And here comes the question, would you rather take the cable car up or brave more than 400 steps to the top? Whichever you choose, the view is worth it. From above, you can see the river winding past colourful houses and the church tower reflecting on the water like a mirror of time. If you're a beer lover, you'll enjoy this. The Leffe Museum tells the story of the famous beer brewed since the 13th century by monks at the local abbey. And after the beer, how about listening to the sound of an instrument born right here? At the house of Adolphe Sax, the inventor of the saxophone is celebrated in an interactive museum. Throughout the city, the Charles de Gaulle Bridge displays dozens of colourful saxophones in his honour. And what better way to end this journey than with a boat ride along the River Meuse through this sacred valley, the name that gave rise to the word Dinant. The town is a meeting point of music, history, and natural beauty. The contrast between the citadel above and the river below creates one of the most photographed landscapes in Wallonia. And if you think nothing could be more enchanting, wait until you discover Dubai, the smallest city in the world, or almost. The title is more symbolic than official, but one look is enough to understand why it earned the nickname. Dubai is small, yes, but it holds a grandeur that cannot be measured in numbers. Cobblestone streets, centuries-old houses, and a silence that seems to speak with time. With each step, it feels like walking through a living story where the past still breathes. Atop a hill, Dubai Castle watches over everything with grandeur and serenity. Its towers and walls are reflected in the waters of the River Orthe, as if they've been guarding the town forever. All around, the green of the Ardennes completes the picture, making it a natural haven of peace and beauty. Just below, the Topiary Park surprises with its creativity. There are more than 200 living sculptures, shrubs shaped into animals, people, and everyday scenes. It is the largest topiary park in Europe and changes appearance with each season, as if nature were reinventing its own art. Dubai is also a refuge for romance. Couples lose themselves in flower-lined alleys, walk up to Roche à la Falaise, one of the most impressive rock formations in Belgium, or paddle together along the calm waters of the River Orthe. In the historic centre, the aroma of fresh bread, the little shops, and the slow rhythm of the town remind us that here, time moves differently. From the charm of Dubai, we continue to Bouillon, a town that, seen from above, looks like a maze of rooftops and medieval stories. Nestled in the bends of the River Semois and surrounded by green hills, Bouillon is the kind of place that seems to exist in another era. From the Belvedere viewpoint, the view is breathtaking. From up there, the castle, bridges, and stone houses form a perfect mosaic, a true postcard of the Ardennes. The heart of the town beats within Bouillon Castle, the ultimate symbol of its history. Built atop a rock, it dominates the valley and holds the legacy of Godfrey of Bouillon, the knight who set out from here to lead the First Crusade. Its walls, secret passages, and towers reveal centuries of battles and victories. Described as one of the most strategic fortresses in Europe, the castle is a testament to medieval military genius. In summer, its towers come even more alive with falconry shows, where birds of prey soar above visitors in a spectacular display. Bouillon is a town that breathes history, but also stirs the soul. Walking through its narrow streets is to discover little squares, cosy cafes and bridges that reflect on the calm river below. For those wishing to dive even deeper into the past, the Ducal Museum unveils medieval life through paintings, documents, and relics from the Crusades. Between the sound of the river and the echo of the ramparts, Bouillon blends history, nature, and mystery. It's a destination that sparks the imagination and invites contemplation. And from this medieval atmosphere, we make our way to Leuven, home to one of the world's most legendary breweries, Stella Artois. The capital of Belgian beer carries an energy that blends youth and tradition without needing to declare it. It's a city where innovation lives side by side with centuries of history. With one of the youngest populations in the country, its streets are always alive with students, artists and travellers who set the rhythm of local life. The Catholic University, founded in 1525, is one of the oldest in Europe and remains a global centre of research and knowledge. A simple walk through the city centre reveals this blend of past and future. Antique bookshops share space with modern cafes and creative studios. At the heart of the city, the town hall impresses with its intricately detailed Gothic facade, stonework so fine it looks like lace, and dozens of towers that seem to touch the sky. Just next door, St. Peter's Church houses masterpieces of religious art dating back to the Middle Ages. But the youthful, bold spirit is just as present. Design shops and cultural venues occupy centuries-old buildings, proving that here, history never stops reinventing itself. By night, the Oude Markt comes alive. This square, packed with bars and restaurants, is known as the largest open-air bar in Europe and symbolises the city's laid-back and vibrant side. It's a place where tradition and modernity meet every single day. And as the train heads north, the sea breeze and salty air announce our next stop. Ostend, the queen of Belgian beaches. On the edge of the North Sea, the city enchants with its wide stretch of golden sand and the rhythm of the waves. Ostend's beach is the heart of the city, where locals and visitors mix along promenades, cycle paths, and seaside cafes. In the summer, the Sand Sculpture Festival transforms the shoreline into an ephemeral gallery, gathering artists from around the world. Leaving the sparkle of the beach behind, Fort Napoleon rises among the dunes. Built in 1805, the fort once served as a military base and now hosts an interactive museum that brings centuries of history to life. Further on, Musée reveals the artistic side of the city, with works by Belgian masters such as James Ensor and Léon Spiliart. Nearby, the Church of Saints Peter and Paul stands proudly with its Gothic towers and colourful stained glass windows, one of the most beautiful landmarks on the Belgian coast. At dusk, the Albertwijn Promenade comes alive with sculptures, cafes and views of the Mercator Museum ship. It's also the best spot to watch the most beautiful sunset in Belgium. And by the harbour, the Wistrap Fish Market offers oysters, shrimp and fresh herring served by local fishermen. Facing the sea, we head to Kortrijk on the banks of the River Lys, in the heart of West Flanders, home to the Texture Museum. Welcome to the city of linen, where tradition, design and sustainability are woven together like the threads that made it famous. Upon arrival, the Broel Towers mark the gateway to the old town. Built in the Middle Ages, they are the last remaining parts of the original city walls, and at night, their reflection on the calm waters creates a fairy tale landscape. But it is inside the Texture Museum that Kortrijk reveals its true essence. Housed in a former warehouse on the banks of the Lys, the museum celebrates linen, known as the Gold of Flanders. Its interactive exhibitions show how the city transformed this fabric into a symbol of innovation, elegance and prosperity. Walking through its galleries is like tracing the history of a region that learned to weave the future with the hands of the past. Kortrijk is also one of the most sustainable cities in Belgium. Life pulses through the Grote Markt, the central square surrounded by cafes, restaurants and historic buildings. At its heart, the Golden Lions commemorate the Battle of the Golden Spurs, a symbol of Flemish pride. And between one visit and the next, the local gastronomy invites you to savour craft beers, cheeses and traditional dishes served in the square's markets. The Belfry, St. Martin's Church and the Beginhof keep the city's medieval heritage alive, while the Kortrijk 1302 Museum brings back the story of the battle that left a mark on its identity. And from this harmony between tradition and modernity, we make our way to the final destination, Haute-Fagnes, the highest point in Belgium, where nature, history, and the sky meet in a spectacle few tourists know. At the top of the country lies the Signal de Botrange, at nearly 800 meters above sea level, known as the Roof of Belgium. The landscape is so unique, it's earned the nickname Belgian tundra, with fields reminiscent of northernmost Europe. The silence here has a sound of its own. They say that on certain days, you can hear the wind breathing between the hills. At the heart of this landscape is the Haute-Fagnes Eifel Nature Reserve, one of the oldest and best preserved in Europe. Wooden walkways cross peat bogs and damp valleys, revealing a nature seemingly untouched by time. With every step, the crisp air and distant birdsong remind us that this is one of the purest places on the continent. The Botrange Nature Centre, Maison du Parc Naturel, is the perfect starting point for exploring the region. The interactive space explains the geological formation of the Fagnes and the species that thrive in the wet soil, guiding visitors along trails that combine learning with contemplation. Along the way, the Signal Barraque. Michel appears, a historic and spiritual landmark, once a refuge for lost travellers in the fog. And hidden among the forests, the Bayonne waterfall cascades with elegance, the tallest in Belgium. In Haute-Fagnes, the journey ends where the sky meets the earth. A silent reminder that every journey, no matter how long, always brings us back to our essence. As we leave Haute-Fagnes, the road winds slowly downhill, and the mist fades among the trees. It feels as though we've crossed a country that reveals its greatness not through size, but through the depth with which it lives every detail. Belgium is a journey through the very essence of Europe, where past and present walk side by side in perfect harmony. From the quiet streets of Bruges to the refined brilliance of Antwerp, this journey has been one of contrasts. Brussels showed the cosmopolitan rhythm of a capital shaping the future, while Ghent proved that knowledge and art are still the soul of Flanders. In Namur and Dinant, the waters became mirrors of history. Durbay and Bouillon brought the stillness of the Ardennes, reminding us that the greatest emotions often live in the smallest towns. Leuven revealed the freshness of youth. Ostend held the sea breeze. And Kortrijk proved that tradition and innovation can indeed share the same horizon. Spa was the breath of the soul before the heights, a reminder that well-being is also a form of art. And then Haute-Fagnes crowned the journey, where the sky touches the earth and silence says all that words cannot. Travelling through Belgium is to understand that beauty lies in the transitions between one language and another, between the past and what is still to come. It's to realise that sometimes the smallest country can hold all possible forms of greatness. If this journey has inspired you, leave a like, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell us in the comments which destination you most want to visit,